A narrative study on job, anxiety, and counseling experience of young women in Mina. Introduction. Youth is a very unstable time, and there are many changes in the term of the physical, cognitive, and social development, and various changes in the personality and emotional development. The English word adolescence in the Latin also means growth, meaning a period of the rapid growth. During this period, not only physical development, but also social and psychological development is rapid. Youth should be defined as a person who is enrolled after graduating from a university and is under the age of 29 and who is seeking a job with a intention work used as a common task of embedding so career goals and entering the professional world was training is including the he presents the opinion that anxiety agrees when individuals fail to satisfy their lead to various factors such as ego or social atmosphere. Anxiety is a subjective and arbitrary state in which experience unpleasant emotion, such as fear or anxiety, tension, intimidation, etc., without in the clear cause, and the anxiety is experienced when there is no real cause of the danger. Anxiety also is a social anxiety, which is the period of the process of the establishing social relationship. Social anxiety disorder also called social phobia is a disorder that involved and the fear situation in which people interact with each other. Along with depression, anxiety among the young job seeker is also emerging as a problem. Such in preventive counseling suggested anxiety as well as depression among young job seekers. On analysis of the physical difficulties faced by young people and with support their demand actually reported that young job seeker are complaining of the emotional difficulties such as anxiety, conflict, and depression in the job search process, and what the variety of the physical intervention that can be to of interest. Narratives are the rich research method developed by Cradin and Connelly as they work on the meaning of the human life. Such exploration is a method of understanding experience in cooperation between researcher and participant that occurs over time in the interaction with the environment. Narrative explosion cannot exclude subjective and autobiographic uh, element because it gives insight into who am I, what am I becoming. In this study, qualitative case study was conducted to select research participants with depression and job insecurity conduct narrative story therapy. The goal of the study is to contribute to providing basic data on proventing and trading psychological programs of young job seekers in experiencing unemployment rate one experience young people with depression and job insecurity experience have in story therapy. Research method. Research participant. This research participant is a woman in her early 20s living in GCT who graduate uh, diploma course and is currently studying hard at an academic for getting a job. It is a voluntary internal story that asked her to counseling due to increased depression and anxiety, having counseling people quitting her job after graduation due to COVID-19. She has not experienced in people, but attempting to asking for counseling again to serve the one program clearly now. 2. Process of the research. However, as stated above, these steps are distinct and their organically links to each other, crossing and overlapping each other. In other words, all of the above processes are not fixed and in order, and the research is carried out psychologically and iteratively. Interpretation in this work too, and iterative cycle between the field and the study test has been achieved. 3. Narrative course. Then venue is the held and the researcher counseling center. By comfortably telling his story and changing his uh, perspective, he improved his understanding of himself and found his one course of the dispersion and accelerated as sharing, feeling as watching myself being legitimate input have a positive view of myself, my and during my perception of the myself. Present in the field, narrative exposure to post-construction narrative about the researcher own experience at the beginning, which came from the research project, set criteria for selection of the study participant and help researcher explore to have a personal practical and social legitimacy. Move from seed to field text. This step is the researcher to enter the field, collect data, and think about writing field text. First overall, in the field, researcher and consult above now deeply. They will participate in the study worksheet. Researcher should be fully immersed in the field and fall in love with the participant. Organizing research text relative employers requirement several methods of the role and the position of the researcher in the three-dimensional narrative exploration space and time and social level in the writing researcher text. Summarizing the commented method, it is recommended to imagine their field text researcher process through reading books related to a reading narrative. Find meaningful metaphors that can express their research topic, read extensively, and continue to study and experiment with the narrative process. Ethical aspect of the research participants in order to secure the reliability of the study. The consultation process was conducted weekly expert feedback and ethical aspect of the research participants were agreed to write in the paper and the consultation is conducted. Narrative actual. The story of the client. First story. The beginning of anxiety. Second story. Finding Britney's as a child. Third story. Difficulties in the relationship. Deserves to be recognized. The fourth story. Environment and anxiety. The fifth story, a struggle to survive. The sixth story, seventh story, eighth story, the ninth story. After the consultations, after the counselor found out of the course of him anxiety and depression and found the stroke he has organizationally originally through his childhood memories. She confirmed that her satisfaction with her include and depression and anxiety discrete through effort to find the cause of his depression and anxiety and find his strong he found his career taxi runner and runner hard. Meaning of story therapy experience, a new discovery of the unself through again. In the meantime, he was worked this course beyond feeling serious and depression through counseling. She learned that the problem of her mind was caused by a long period of wound, such as the environment in which her childhood caregiver chance and the experience of the being killed by her friends after friction, which is the middle school friendly. It was able to be combined that the passion for his life was the revived and also to serve the expense by attending relationship academic and part-time job together back to the work, having many negative through the and no desire and passion for their life to do literacy, depression, and anxiety. First young job seeker who felt anxious, feeling having an opportunity in their perception of themselves through the process of the understanding their fear and exploring themselves during the story therapy process. Thank you.